Everyone loves a good allocated bourbon, but today we're going to go into some bottles that are not hard to find and won't cost a fortune. Let's get into it. Hello everyone, welcome back to Brad's Bourbon Reviews. I'm Brad, and today I know I had promised and teased a bunch of cool videos that were coming up with some pretty hard to find allocated bottles, but I got sick. I can't taste anything other than this medicine taste that I have had as a side effect for the medication that I've been on, so I'm having to push those videos back because I hadn't recorded them yet. I made the thumbnails and haven't recorded them yet, so hopefully mid to later this week I'll be able to get in and get those recorded. But right now I thought it'd be fun to do something a little different and talk about 5 bourbons that don't cost a fortune and you can pretty much find everywhere. So a few things to keep in mind: people don't get the same things all across the country, and B, it is not the same pricing all across the country. Where you go and get a bottle, it might cost me $20, it might cost you $25, it might cost you $15. There is some variation there. So I'm going off prices that I've experienced. Let's go ahead and dive in with number 5 here. This bottle is the cheapest one by far on this list. This bottle costs $9.99 and it's Evan Williams Green Label. This is just a decent 80 proof mixer. Throw it in with Coke, you won't feel guilty for drinking it. I don't believe we actually get the Green Label distributed here in Florida. I've only seen it in South Carolina, and every time I go up there I grab one or two because they're good to have when you just want to mix something with Coke and have a nice little, as my friend Timmy says, tasty beverage. So it made the list. It's really inexpensive, and if you can find it, it's pretty good. I mean, none of these are really going to be like the best bourbons you've ever had, but they are decent enough to warrant a spot on this list. Number 4 is another bottle that I picked up in my travels to North and South Carolina. This was flying off the shelves, but I'm starting to see it here in Florida now too, which is cool. It's very Old Barton. This is the 86 proof. I really want to get my hands on that 100 proof. This one I think cost me, I think it was $14. I know it was definitely under $20. This was the bottle that made me want to do this list in the first place. This one and number 3. But these are good. Like, they're okay neat. I haven't had much out of them. They're nothing to write home about. It's 86 proof, very Old Barton. It's not the greatest whiskey bourbon in the world, but it's okay, and it's you know, it's good to have. Again, if you want to mix with Coke, you want to mix some old fashions, you don't want to use anything that's like super expensive or more hard to find. These are very Old Barton 86 proof is a great option for that. All right, moving on to one of my favorite bottles. I actually genuinely love this bottle. Unironically, I think it's fantastic, and I don't hear people talk about this one a ton, which is nuts because it's super cheap. It's Heaven Hill Juice, JW Dant, bottled in bond. It's 100 proof, and I think this was like $13, and I got this bottle at Heaven Hill, so I think it was 13, 14, 15 bucks, somewhere around there. But man, I don't know if I hear a lot of people talking about JW Dant, and I think people see like the big white jug, which is the only bottle size I'm able to find in Florida, that big like plastic jug, and kind of dismiss it, but don't. It's really, really good. And that plastic jug is like 23 bucks. It's freaking awesome. So if you can get your hands on this and it's available, or you happen to be at Heaven Hill and you're like, what is this thing? It's good. It's just not a great label, but I think that's like what Heaven Hill likes to do, is make really terrible labels like this and Mellow Corn. So don't be fooled by the label. This stuff's really solid. Next one on the list, I was torn between one of these versus another one, and I'm gonna go with this one because it is 100 proof, and this is the Benchmark. This is the Benchmark Bonded. This bottle is really, really solid. The entire Benchmark lineup is really good. I was going back and forth between this one and Top Floor to add on this list. If Full Proof wasn't $23, it would have made the list, but I'm sticking hard to that $20 rule. I love the entire Benchmark line, but this Bonded one is really, really good. Top Floor is great too. If you can get your hands on any of these, do it. They are really inexpensive. These are made by Buffalo Trace, if you aren't aware. They are made, it's full-on Buffalo Trace. It tastes like Buffalo Trace, smells like Buffalo Trace. I've actually recommended this to people who like really can't find Buffalo Trace in their area, and this just sits on the shelves. It's great. Go grab it. I don't know, I'm not really breaking any ground here by saying this, but I'm just reiterating the point that this bottle is awesome. All the Benchmark stuff's good. The Full Proof is my favorite, but it's just not on this list because of the price. And number 1 to wrap this list up is a bottle that I actually don't have. I had it on Friday, and we kind of between Friday night and Saturday night. We went through the whole bottle, and I meant to save it, but it is Early Times Bottled in Bond, and I can get it now here in Florida for $16.99. It is a liter. It is a Bottled in Bond product. It is freaking delicious, neat. It is good in cocktails. It's good with Coke. Like, it is just a freaking versatile bourbon. It's got a lot of brown sugar and oak notes. I really, really like it. I drink it neat more than I drink it in stuff, and I think it's just as good. It's worthy of a neat pour. It's awesome. So if you can find it, get your hands on it. I know it's not available everywhere, but if you ever go to the Bourbon Trail, it's available in pretty much every liquor store up there. That's where I got it, I think, for the first time we found it, because it wasn't distributed here to Florida. And then when we were in South Carolina visiting family, I saw it on the shelves a few times, and I started grabbing it when I was up there. And now it's finally in Florida. I don't have to worry about doing that anymore. And I'm very happy about that, because I love Early Times Bottled in Bond. That's the end of the list. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the comments. Leave me a comment down below with your favorite $20 or under bottle of whiskey. Let me know if I missed anything. Let me know if you hate my list, if you love my list. Let me know. I like to hear both sides of the story. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you on the next one, and hopefully you'll be feeling better. Until then, cheers.